OK。Closing process number 3ですね。その前に、last week。Closing process number 1 is cost of sales. Then cost of sales and material cost ですね。Cost of products. We calculate cost of products. Change the material cost, labor cost, subcontract processing cost, manufacturing expense, 4 elements. Please change the cost of products. ということでしたね。あとは、purchase and inventory の関係を説明しました。purchase and inventory ですね。change from beginning inventory from the purchase and then in the end of the term, you should change purchase to inventory, the ending inventory. The ending inventory, you calculate the real merchandise that is remained.
Here is the first the end the beginning of the term. You calculate purchase to inventory, and then end of the term your inventory to the purchase, because we want to calculate only the cost of sales that we're using for this term. So if there is a remaining product, the cost of these products cannot go to the cost of the sales of this term. So we will subtract. In this procedure, we subtract that cost from the this term's cost of sales.
で、そうですね。これ。で、cost of products は 4 elements, material cost, labor cost, subcontract processing cost, manufacturing expense. If all products are completed, change the 4 elements accounts for the cost of products. が closing process number 1ですね。で、next, closing process number 2 is depreciation. Depreciation expense. で、for example, you buy a building for business. Do you use it only for 1 year? You buy it? No, you can use the building for many years. So it is not good to record amounts as this year expense. So you should record the building to the asset. Then you make expenses according to the terms that you can use. The asset, building, equipment, and so on. These expenses that you record according to the terms is so-called depreciation expense. はい。大丈夫ですかね。 ディプリシエーション。こんな感じです。はい。
Oh, do you remember how to calculate depreciation cost? And in the depreciation cost or expense, there are the three elements. But these three elements is decided by each government.
うん。
So it depends on your country's decision or the rules. How much is the not sunken cost? Sorry, the duration and
はいはい。
salvage value. Yeah. That original cost is maybe the same when you uh, buy your equipment or the land. But this salvage value and useful life is determined by the rules of your own country. So it will
う
be
ん。
varied.
うん。そうそう。
So please research about
そう
this.
ね。そうそう。almost depreciation expense depend on your each government rule.
So in Japan, it correlates to the national tax. So there is no how to say, there is no rule. There is no sorry. Yeah. The government set higher salvage value and higher useful life. But if you offer under that year or under that amount of money, it is okay. That is the Japanese way.
うん。
Like,
そうですね。
if the government set useful life for a machine as 10 years, it is okay for you. My machine is useful just for 6 years. But if you offer to the government, my machine will useful till 12 years, that is prohibited.
そう。
That is a Japanese rule.
そう。Please learn the way to calculate depreciation expense. やり方がた
So you should be clearly understand the way to calculate how depreciation cost. So one is a straight line method, and two declining balance method. So maybe the way of calculation is the same. So this is what is the depreciation cost and how to calculate them.
はい。で、Today, closing process number three is appropriately accounting income and expense for the accounting term. In accounting, companies have to decide the terms into fixed periods, mostly 1 year. Mostly 1 year で、let's think about the income and expense in the accounting term.
So
はい。
in the accounting or the a company set a term, maybe it would be 1 year. And to calculate appropriate how much we earn and how much we expense, in that term, we should adjust our expense and our earnings. So that is today's theme.
はい。If you pay the long-term expense that belongs to this term and the next term, if you record these all expenses to this term, is it suitable or not? It is not suitable to record these all expenses to this term. It is too much to record all for this term. You have to divide income and expense belonging to this year and next year or later. You record income and expense only belonging to this term.
So if you pay 1 year insurance, to see the example, pay 1 year insurance expense from October to September on September. But the accounting term, so just see the following picture that
for example ですね。
For example, January to December, this is the term of the accounting. So you should close December, but you paid from October to next September, paid 1 year. So if you add up this amount of money on December, you pay too much. So how to calculate and how to add up in a term of the year. That is prepaid expense. How to do about this prepaid expense is adjusting entries.
そうですね。The term is from January to December is this term. And then you pay insurance expense $1,200 from October to next year, September. Paid 1 year cost. So only 2 months of insurance expense belong to this term. So you should record only 2 months of insurance expense on this year ですね。で、prepaid insurance expense about for 10 months is prepaid expense. You record prepaid expense. This is asset account. で、これがカリキュレート。$1,200.
So you should divide this is the total amount of money, and this is this amount of money for 1 year. So it is 12 months. But this 10 will be paid for the next year. So this formula is this formula calculate about how much will be go to next year. So you will add this as a prepaid expense. So this is the how to write.
はい。で、これは、仕分け、journal entry. How about journal entry? When you pay insurance expense, debit, insurance expense 1,200. Credit, cash 100 to 200. Then, at the end of the term, closing process としては、prepaid insurance この分ですね。10 months は prepaid insurance 1000で、insurance expense を、decrease insurance expense 1000 insurance expense を、その分インクリース、ディクリースでしたっけインシュランスエクスペリエンスを、1000は、ディクリースします。You should decrease insurance expense, then you increase the prepaid insurance on the debit side as asset ということになります。はい。で、大丈夫ですか？
So everybody can understand how to record it and also the system of the prepaid expense. Okay, okay, thank you.
これを図にすると、インシュランスエクスペンスの、なんだっけ、アカウンティング、ポスティングバランスとしては、インシュランスエクスペンスが paid 1,200。これですね。So, prepaid は、1,000 を decrease from insurance expense, change the prepaid insurance accounts に変えるっていうことですね。はい。で、insurance expense, you decrease prepaid expense ということです。はい。
So in this case, you should include 2 months insurance expense, just 2 months to insurance expense, and 10 month prepaid one is go to be asset to the next term.
大丈夫ですかね。大丈夫でしょうか。You remember, you learn prepaid insurance というアカウンティングネームを覚えてください。prepaid ですね。
So, you should remember prepaid insurance or prepaid 何がありますかね。
prepaid rent.
Prepaid rent, prepaid rent house or rent room like that.
prepaid expense でした。はい。次、いきます。
So, go to the next.
Next, unearned revenue. Unearned revenue. When you receive revenue for next year, you should subtract it from this term's revenue. when you receive revenue, amount for next year. When you receive revenue, included the next term, you should divide it from this term revenue. わかるかな？はい。はい。これ、for example, got 1 year rent income 1,200 from October to September. Next year ですね。October this year to、next year September の rent income を you already got on これ、September 30. So year period from January to December. The income these terms belong to months. Only 2 months. You should record 2 months income. So 10 months income make it to the next year ですね。10 months, how much? 10 months of the income. All amounts 1,200. But
So this formula said you received 1,200, but it is not in this term you cannot receive. It is not for the in this term. So you should divide how many months is for this month, for this year term, and how many months will go to the next term. So the first formula shows you how much will go to the next terms. So we will divide 1 year and 10, we will divide 10 months by 1 year. So it go to 1,000. This is unearned revenue.
Unearned revenue. Unearned revenue is liability. Liability ですね。So, look at the journal. When you got the income of the 1 year, debit cash 1,200, credit rent income 1,200. 1 year の income ですね。で、closing process, you divide 10 months to the next term. Rent income, you should decrease rent income. Rent income home position is a credit side. So if rent income decrease, you put the debit side decrease rent income opposite side debit side. So then you record rent income debit side 1,000 and unearned rent 1,000. You should decrease rent income, then you increase the unearned rent of the credit side as liability.
So the point is the unearned income, unearned revenue will earned revenue is on the credit side as liability. So that is a point, I think. So just subtract what you will earn. Just subtract what you will earn next term. It is the left side, and the right side, what will be next term as liability.
はい。で、next year, next term, you make the journal. 次の年は unearned rent。次の年、next year ですね。next year というか next term ですね。デビットサイ、decrease で、レントこうなります。next year, next term. You record debit side, 違う、debit side, unearned rent 1,000 and rent income 1,000。こうなります。大丈夫ですかね？Does everyone understand?
Yeah, the system of thinking is the same as before, but in this case, this is not expense but revenue. So the final journal entry is a little bit different because it go to the liabilities and expense go to the expense. So, but the thinking way is the same. So yeah.
You got income this period, but unearned ですね。$10,000 unearned, so decrease from rent income.
And teacher Midori,
はい。
Arya-kun have a question.
はい。
Yeah, he asked that prepaid is like advance.
Is prepaid?
So the Arya-kun, does you mean the prepaid expense? Arya-kun, you mean advance is the paid advance?
Yes, because if we paid this year 2 months insurance, and the 10-month insurance is passed on to next year, so that means it is an advance, right?
Yeah, in the English that is true, but in accounting, we call it just prepaid expense, not advance. But the meaning is the same.
Meaning.
And what is the relationship? What is the difference between number 1 and number 2? Because both are advanced. So in accounting term, we can say prepaid revenue also.
So, Arya-kun, you do not confuse when you say advance expense and advance revenue, it is okay.
ただ単に英語の意味だけと思うんですけど。
It is the just the terms of English. But why teacher Midori use prepaid expense and unearned revenue? Because advance payment and advance revenue, advance is the same, so it causes some confusing. That is why. The meaning is the same. Okay, Arya-kun?
Okay, Sensei.
Ryo-san, the month is the same, is meaning is that you mean the terms is the same? So if you pay for on January the insurance for 1 year, January to December, you do not need to write the prepaid insurance. Is it your question? So the main point is the this is beyond the one term. In the case of the payment, it is prepaid, and in case of the revenue, it is also prepaid, but the revenue is for the next year term. So if you sum up to the journal, just this term, for the expense case, it is too much to expense, and in the revenue case, it is too much revenue, and next time you cannot get any revenue for this contract. So we adjust and calculate how many months we will receive for this term and how many months we will receive the next terms.
そうなんですね。
Yes, yes.
In accounting では、it is important to account one period of the year, one period belong to this accounting term. So you should calculate on calculate なんだろうincome calculate income belongs to only this term.
The key point is we should calculate what we earn, what we expense in this term, not next term. That is the point. So 1 year terms, it depends on the each community, each countries. What is the ending terms or the from the beginning to the end, the company will set the terms. So usually in Japan, we will set April to March, but in Japan, some companies set it to January to December. It is okay. And some is May to June, and some is 何でしたっけ？5月から10
5
月。
月から4月。
May to April. So it depends to each company. Some country like Myanmar, government set the term in Myanmar's case, it is beginning at October and end at September. So please confirm your country's situation. Is it just like Japan? You can freely set your terms, or just like Myanmar, the government set the term, so you should obey that, like that. Maybe in the Japanese case, some company set the terms when they start a company. So it is very easy way. So till now, all of the member is okay.
次は、accrued expense, accrued expense equal not paid yet ですね。accrued expense means not paid yet. Some expense is appeared in this term, but you do not pay yet. Because you have a contract, you should pay next term. You should record them as expense of this term. はい。period of the year, January to December, you don't, on this year, you don't pay yet, for example, rent expense. And then you can pay next year. ここですね。Next year, you can pay, but in the period of the year, you, なんだろう。You can recognize 2 months rent expense. So accrued expense appear on this time. 2 months rent expense. So at the end of the term closing process, you record debit rent expense to 200. So rent payable liability 200. At the end of the term, you should record these journal. 大丈夫ですかね。
Midori-san, so this is just like a credit card payment.
Credit?
So if I bought some clothes by credit card and say
クレジ
we
ット
will
カードね。
pay next month.
そうそうそう。
Yeah, that is a month to month. But if there is some case, if it would pay next year, so just I promised to pay my price of the clothes to next year. So that is just like this. So in the credit card case, it is just months. I bought my skirt June, but paid July. In this case, it is not months. It is beyond term. So the system is the same, just the same, but the duration is a little bit duration is the cause the problem, because the payment go to next terms. So is it okay for you? So in fact, you do not pay 200 as rent expense
うん。
in this term.
ここでレントエクスペンスをアピアさせるんですね。
Just appears. So at the credit side, rent payable
レンペイアブル、ライアビリティ。
liabilities.
そう。それで、next term, next year, when you pay next period の、you enter the journal, entry the journal, rent expense 1000 and rent payable 200 and then cash 1200。こういう仕分けになります。Add next time when pay real time like that.
Not say yeah, not save in real, but yeah, that is the one way of thinking. Yeah. But in reality, we do not save 200 money in our saving banks or in our closet. So there is no payment or the decrease of cash. That is the point also. Maybe just in our mind. Yeah. So just as a credit card case, we should remember how much we should pay because I bought this card. Sometimes I forget it.
So,
as an account, the point is the previous terms we do not pay, so the cash not decreased. So, but we should pay expense. So here is the rent expense appears, but it is as rent payable as liabilities. So next term, we do not entry rent expense 1,200, but rent expense 1,000. That is the this term's payment, and add rent payable. That is we should that is for the previous rent payment. So total will be the 1,000 to the total 1,200 we should pay in this term according to the contract.
これですね。
Yeah, Arya-kun, please just wait. Next is the accrued revenue. That is the opposite. It is the payment, and accrued revenue is earnings, income.
Accrued expense ですね。Not pay yet. You make expense appear っていうことです。In this term. はい。次。Next. Next. Accrued revenue. Not get yet. っていうことですね。まだもらっていない。Accrued revenue not get yet. In this term, some revenue is appeared, but you don't not receive yet. You should record them as revenue of this term. これは上の費用と同じように、 you make the revenue appears belong to this term.
So this is the same as accrued expense, but in this case, you are not pay. You do not pay. You are in the side to earn or get the money. Okay? Just Arya can ask us. So you are the owner of the house that accrued expense man uh, is renting.
One year rent expense, you can get.
So you can get 1 year rent expense, but as a contract, the money will be
1 year rent income ですね。
sorry, 1 year rent income, but as a contract, you can get the income at the end of the at the end of the September. So in real, you do not get the 2-month rent, but in the accountment, you should record rent receivable 200. Rent income 200 in this term, because it is for these 2 months, October to December. But you do not pay, you do not receive the real cash, so you put rent receivable 200. Then,
Then receivable 200 and rent income. You should make income appeared ですね。ここ。Rent income 200 and rent receivable 200. Then next term, next year, when you get rent income next period, cash 1,200. Then credit side, rent receivable. Rent receivable 200 and rent income 1,000. Rent income belongs to the next term.
So just like the accrued expense, next period when you get cash 1,200, but it is rent income 1,000 for this term, and also 200 for previous term as rent receivable.
Next period, 8 months. There is income. The next period, rent income 1,000, and then ここの 2 months income rent receivable. The rent receivable credit side and the cash, debit side cash. はい。Everyone okay?
Yeah.
Does everyone understand?
I remember, okay? Oh, thank you, Yuda-kun. Yeah. First, prepaid next, unearned, say, advance get.
advance get.
The third is
次は not paid yet
not paid yet.
expense ですね。で、not get yet.
This is the fourth.
You should-
These four kinds of accounting as adjusting accountment you should do when you close the term.
はい。それで次です。about cash excess or deficiency これ現金過不足 when you actually count cash on hand at the end of the day, week or a month, you may know that there is deficiency between the amount of money on hand and the amount of books on hand.
So when you make a journal entry and calculate for say 1 week, one weekend, you can you calculate all the journal entry to the T account, and there is a cash
そうキャッシュバランスが出てくるわけですよね。
but in real you have and in real you have a cash, and some case it appears that cash is bigger than cash in account, cash in book, or cash is smaller than cash in account. How do you do?
You may know that there is a difference between the amount of money on hand and the amount of the book. So you can record the difference amounts on the book as cash excess or deficiency ですね。現実の、有高、現実に、数えた現金のアマウントに帳簿を修正します。
So you should adjust your record according to your real money. So you should not let it go. You just adjust. You should adjust. Not let it go, or you just add from your pocket, or you just get the money to your pocket. You should not do that.
So,
You should correct record.
Hi, for example, one, if you really have less cash on hand, then you record it.
This is the your cash on hand is less than $10. Oh, it is big. So how do you record it?
そう。で、一旦 cash excess or deficiency 10 and then cash decrease. You should cash account decrease $10. これですね。はい。
So here is the account title, cash excess or deficiency. Is recorded to debit side. And in real, your cash is decreased, so cash appears at the credit side. So how to record it first? In any way, cash $10 decreased. So you first put cash on debit credit side because cash decreased and amount $10. Then opposite side, you write cash excess or deficiency. This is account title. And then amount 10.
で、for example, number 2, if you really have more cash on hand, $10, then you recorded.
And that is a rare case, but
Rare case.
yeah, you have more $10 than recorded. So cash increase.
Cash increase. Cash
You can
increase,
put,
debit side.
cash on the debit side because cash increase. And the
So,
opposite side, account title, cash excess or deficiency, and amount.
so,
That is the adjustment cash on hand and cash on book.
so the end of the term, you should investigate, you should find out why it happened. It is important. If you don't know why it happened, you record below.
First,
You should.
in the end of the term, you should investigate why it happened. Maybe sometimes you miscalculate. So one day it will be deficiency $10, and second week, oh, I find $10 excess like that. So if you don't know why it happens, you record miscellaneous expense 10 and cash excess or deficiency 10. But if you find that it was travel expense 10 that you missed to record. So in this case, you put not miscellaneous expense, but traveling fee or traveling expense 10 and cash excess or deficiency 10.
Travel, for example, travel expense 10 and cash excess or deficiency 10. で、cash excess or deficiency accounts disappeared. 消えていきます。
So in this way, cash excess or deficiency, this account title or cash excess or deficiency would vanish. So the record and real is adjusting, no difference. So just the opposite. If you should have more cash on hand, you should do, and if you do not know why it happened, you record as number 2. Credit side, mysterious income 10, and cash excess or deficiency 10.
OK でしょうか。
Is it okay for all of you? It should, not should, it might be happened.
So, it is not good, but really, you may, あるかもしれない。
Yeah, me too, Yuda-kun. Every day I experience. Somehow 1 yen or 2 yen is disappeared, and the next day there would be a 5 yen excess.
So.
Maybe my purse would be sometimes hungry and sometimes is how to say that, have a stomach ache, and then he will vomit vanished money.
そう、これは仕方
Yeah.
そう。
This is not good. Not be happened, but in reality, it would happen because we are human. And sometimes the Excel file will do that. I don't know the why. Maybe my Excel is sometimes have a fever.
はい。はい。これがクロージングプロセスでしたね。次、アジャスティング。じゃあ、実際、アジャスティングエントリーズというのは修正仕分けのことですけれども、アジャスティングエントリーズ。修正仕分けはどうするか。まずちょっと例文やってみましょう。Exercise 1, Adjusting Entries。3-year rent agreement was made on July 1, 2000, for $7,500. The amount was debited to rent expense. Make the adjusting entry for the period ending December 31.
So we have a contract to pay
払った。
3 years rent agreement. So pay
レントエクスペンス
Yeah.
7,500払った。So, when you paid rent expense, 3 years rent expense, 7,500, you record on the debit side, prepay, the debit side rent expense, 7,500. で、どういうふうにアジャスティングエントリーズをするでしょうかっていうことなの。はい。ここを見てください。January to December period of the year ですよね。on July, you paid 3 years rent expense です。ここに7,500 ここに you pay 7,500 on July 3 years rent 7,500で、you account only July to December on this term ここですね。ここ。ジュライからディセンバーだから、何ヶ月だ ?7、8、9、10、11、12、6ヶ月。6 months。6 months。ですね。これはなんだ ?2 months じゃないな。6 months。です。
Maybeみどりさん、
はい。
プリペイドレントの上に7月のエントリーを書いといてもらえると分かりやすいんじゃないかしら。
これね、7月、ここに。ここに。ジュライ。6 10 こういうことですね。You pay on July。この問題の意味ですね。Debited rent expense. The amount was debited to rent expense の意味はこういうことです。はい。ここまで。わかりますか？この The amount was debited to the rent expense は means you paid when you paid on July debit rent expense 7,500 and credit side cash 7,500ということです。で、the end of the term you should record debit side prepaid rent これ6,250 January to December が this period January to December how many months? 6 months で next January to なんていう remaining、30 months is prepaid expense でこれがこの
This formula shows us that how much is the prepaid expense. So we paid 7,500 as a prepaid, but we use it at the 6 month.
はい、これ3 years.
From July to December. So that is the so the remaining is the 30 month. So we will divide 36 and 36 to divide it to 30 and by 7,050 get 6,250. That is a prepaid expense of this term. So at the end of the term, we will record prepaid rent 6,025 and rent expense 6,025.
で、how to count? プリペイ、ゆうだくん、how to count?
That is
これ全体で3 years equal 36 months。36 months の中で当期は6ヶ月分。ということは、next term は、36ヶ月のうちの30ヶ月が次の期になるっていうことです。
Yeah. Yude-kun, first you divide 30 by you divide 30 by 36. Then okay, so the first do this dividing. Sorry, I forget which is which. Do you know this? Yeah, 30 divided by 36. So you get the 0.8333333, maybe.
3 years equal 36。
Then by 7,000 to, yeah.
36マンスなので、この、36マンスの中の6、6 months, only 6 months belongs to this term. So you should record other 60 months expense makes the prepaid rent and then decrease rent expense. 大丈夫ですかね？
Yeah, yeah. Yes, that is it. Yeah. Maybe the mathematics, Yudaku's calculation is right, but in this case, we first think how many months we use these terms and how many months go to the next time. So we should first think about the we should think about that portion that that portion first. So we should divide 30. We should 30 divided by 36. So you get 0.83333. And then by 7,500. Yeah. In this case, you receive, you get 6,250. Yes. These adjusting entries you record on July rent expense this amount and paid cash this amount. So you adjust end of the term prepaid rent and rent expense according to the month. But there is another way to record this case. Teacher Midori will show you.
で、when you paid only July, if you record ここをprepaid 7500もしこういうふうにやっていた場合と。
If you record on July, prepaid rent 7,500 and cash 7,500. If you do that, in this case, adjusting entry will be rent expense か。
rent expense 50.
And prepaid expense が prepaid rent。
こうなりますね。これもありです。
So in this case, adjusting an entry will rent expense 750. That is the real payment. And prepaid rent 750. Because it's subtract from the prepaid amount. So in this case, you will entry real expense, rent expense 750, and reduce prepaid rent same amount. That is in the adjusting in this case. So there is a two adjusting way. But it depends on what you entry on July.
So,
There is a two ways, but it is a set. Do not do mix it. So it depends what entry do you do on July. But anyway, you should adjust at the end of the term. Okay?
Okay. はい。
So the rent expense is the same.
OK でしょうか。
So is it okay for you? So
もう
this
一回復習しておいてください。
today, and please review. Yeah, 750 is we get 750 is
質問ね。はいはい、これね。
just so
6
the
でした。
July to December is 6 months. So the first we divide 7,500 divided by
ここですね。
36. Then we get the 1 month rent.
で、それで、プリペイドレントに最初に計上したので、じゃあ、当期のレントエクスペンスという費用にするのは何ヶ月かというのを考えると、6ヶ月分なので、6ヶ月分なので、それを計算します。
1250にならないですか？
え
7500を36で割りますよね。
うん。ですよね。6250を7500違うか。7500から6250を引くと1250だ。ごめんなさい。間違ってました。1250
ですね。Sorry, this is a calculation mistake. It is 1,250 because we first divide 7,050 divided by 36, then by 6.
Sorry, I mistook. 7500の、36分の6 分は1250でした。Sorry, I mistake. Thank you. ユダさん。アリアさん。Thank you.
So please review today's lesson and as a homework, go to exercise 2.
Exercise 2 and exercise 3もうちょっと、考えてみてください。
And then please please challenge exercise 3. Also, you will review trial balance. Okay?
で、
So we will go to the final closing section. You can get 下の方見せていただけますか？エクササイズ3の下かな？
エクササイズ3。
やれるところ。
これをちょっとやっといてください。エクササイズ3。
で、生産書フォーマットまで。
はい。生産表はこれですね。
はい。So you get this worksheet. You can get, finally, you can get profit loss statement. And that is means income statement and PL and
ワークシート。
S.
これ説明します。来週はですね。はい。
This worksheet is the final review of your business. So when you look into carefully this worksheet, you can understand what situation your business is. Okay? So if you understand here worksheet, you will be a good manager of your business. So please 頑張って。
Please 頑張って。そう。はい。これをちょっともう一回復習しておいてください。今日の Adjusting Entries。はい。今日は以上です。
So this is all for today. Thank you for joining. Namaste, Arya-kun. Terima kasih.
Thank you for joining.
Yuda-kun. Okun-tram. Ryo-san. Miki-san. ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
さん。
こんにちは。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。Thank you for joining this class.
ありがとう。
See you next week.
See you.